July 2018, great time to be alive. We just wrapped up the 2018 World Cup with France defeating Croatia in the final match. And from a USA Soccer perspective, it's time to take stock of what we learned from this tournament and our notable absence from it, our first time missing the World Cup since 1986. So a startling step backward for USA Soccer. And it's interesting that today, July 16th, the day I'm filming this video, is the anniversary, the 20-year anniversary of this grand plan USA Soccer had in 1998 called Project 2010. So they thought back then, in 12 years, USA Soccer could be at a point by 2010 where it could win the World Cup. That was the target. Now, here we stand 8 years beyond that, and you can definitely guess that missing the World Cup 8 years after that target date, first of all, failing that 2010 mission, and then missing the World Cup completely 8 years after that was not in the script. So it is clear we are mired in mediocrity, treading water, and there may be some marginal growth in USA Soccer, but the problem is the rest of the world is growing at a faster rate, progressing, innovating at a faster rate than we are. Again, the rest of the world uses a normal, open, free market system that incentivizes innovation, investment, competition, hard work, excellence. Meanwhile, we have this closed artificial bubble system which kills off 99% of the USA Soccer ecosystem or prevents them from having a fair chance or incentive in the USA Soccer industry. Why pour your time and energy and resources into something when you have no realistic chance at return on investment? So that's what our USA closed system does. The rest of the world is wide open. So it's an arms race to get to the top, to develop players as clubs, to scout for young players. You look at nations like France and Belgium. No, they don't have the world's top club necessarily. They're good clubs in the French and Belgian first divisions, but normally they sell off their high-end players to the top leagues in the world club football food chain like La Liga and Premier League. So you see these nations being successful. Maybe their players don't necessarily play in their domestic league, in a case like France, but they are scouted and developed within those strong French and Belgian club academies. They do a good job at identifying talent, developing them when they're young, moving them along, getting them ready for first-team football, and of course they make their breakthroughs in the domestic league, the club senior teams, and then they star and they move on to the top leagues, top club teams in the world. And then here in USA, you see just a barren development system. We do not develop players out of our own programs, our own clubs. We don't really have independent unlimited clubs. We don't have real soccer clubs here, but the best players we have right now in the USA Soccer national team pool are dual citizens, people we have identified who have a German father and a U.S. Military serviceman father and a German mother, dual citizens, or players who are able to flee the U.S. system in their formative years, teen years, and finish their development, the critical years before cracking into the first team in Europe, which most USA Soccer players do not have that luxury. So we are falling woefully short of what we should be producing, and it's simply down to one single piece of policy. The U.S. Soccer Governing Federation can literally change the course of U.S. Soccer with one signature, one act. Can drive millions and millions of dollars, billions of dollars of new investment into the USA Soccer ecosystem, could drive interest to the ecosystem, could create opportunities for millions of people. Again, as I mentioned, thousands of existing USA clubs, whether it be youth-only clubs or clubs that exist in sort of the amateur semi-pro ranks or lower division USA Soccer ranks. They would have incentive to invest for a long-term payout, which is ultimately reaching Division I and the profits that would come with that. Thousands of clubs would create free-to-play academies and create scouting networks that could identify the future of our national team player pool. And then, of course, these open systems, what happens is you don't have coaches or administrators rising up simply through politics or deals. They have to prove themselves with excellence. And the best coaches and administrators will make their way to the top because an open system is a natural filtration system for excellence. That's the number one commodity in an open system, which is how it should be. And also, of course, it goes without saying, players. And the best way to determine who the best players are is to filter them through results on the pitch. So if you win, if you are a quality player, your team will win more and you will move up. It's as easy as that. So USA looks around at the rest of the world and sees it growing at a faster rate. It sees its closed MLS system continuing to spiral into failure. MLS went down from a 7% share of the USA Soccer market to a 6% share. That's judging off of TV ratings, which is about the most accurate measurement we can see in terms of the success of MLS. So do we want to keep going down this road of trying to run soccer like U.S. isolated franchise sports? No, let's run our soccer like the normal soccer world. We have the ingredients here to be a massive, massive soccer nation, from our national teams to our clubs. We have the chance to do a lot of good for American society beyond just sport. We can create opportunities for youth. We can create many, many jobs. We could help out a lot of people through this one sporting policy change, because USA Soccer, it goes beyond just sport. It is more than a game. It has implications just like any other industry. There's real lives that are impacted, real financial consequences. So let's do the right thing. Let's just align USA Soccer with the normal soccer world. Once we do that, we will see the fruit of our decision. We just need to get our hands off. We need to unleash USA Soccer, get our hands off of let clubs be free to decide for themselves how far they can go. No more artificial franchise selections, expansions. Open the system, let clubs compete on the pitch, and you will ultimately see USA Soccer reach its massive, massive potential. So if you like this video, make sure to share it out across social media, and also subscribe right here to my YouTube channel, and I will talk to you soon.